in business segment. I'm going to kick this on the FM. If you have some questions, feel free to ask and let me know what you got going on today. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. My name is Gardy, and I have some guests in studio. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to find out a lot of information.
Hi, my name is Carrie Crump, and I am with Lex Mae, which is in the Tanger Outlet Mall.
And then we have another guest back in studio.
That's right.
Hey,
this is Kelly Williams, and I have the Miss KHEA USA pageant, Miss League City USA pageant, and the Kelly Williams show.
So is that new?
It's brand new, literally just to kick it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I know.
Wow.
It's very, very exciting.
Super cool.
That's exciting. So the Kelly Williams show has been going on for how long? And last year I saw you busier than ever.
Yeah.
But how long have you been doing it, and what were you able to achieve last year?
This is my fourth year. We just went into 4 years in April. So, and last year when COVID hit, it was my busiest year, actually. I saw several of my friends' businesses shut down, and I was heartbroken. And there was literally, it was businesses that there was nothing they could do to do anything to make, because it was that kind of a business. And so I literally just started giving away free shows and said, I'm here to help. If you want to be on my show, I'm here. So and that's what I did, and I was doing shows every single day.
You're still doing it now, or is it slowed down now?
It is slowed down, which is nice because people are kind of getting back in the groove. But I'm kind of gotten on a little bit better schedule now. It was a little tough, but it was good.
I know it really helped me out for sure. That was just one little highlight, to get that extra kick out there. So I know I really appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else would say the same thing. How did you get started? Where'd you come from? What'd you do?
Start what?
You. I mean, your businesses.
Where did Kelly come from?
How did you get involved in women, in business? How did you get started?
Gosh, that is a really loaded question, Carrie. How long is this show? Well, the thing is that I started I was a graphic artist. I was a psych major in college. Decided I did not want to be a psychiatrist or psychologist because it would make me too sad. Literally. And so I quit doing that, went to school for graphic art, which I loved. My uncle in Lake Charles was a phenomenal artist. He was really kind of a most famous in Lake Charles artist. And I kind of got some of that gift and loved it. Loved doing it. Started doing graphic artwork. Went to school for graphic art and psychology, actually, but finished in kind of continued in graphic art. Started my own freelance business. Did that for a long time. I've been doing graphic art off and on for about 35 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm only like 30. So that's like a long time, everybody. So started graphic art. And then I was on KHEA City Council for 11 years, Mayor Pro Tem for 2, was on the KHEA Community Development for 2 years. Always wanted to be very involved with my community. That was important for us to show our children. When you live somewhere, you get involved and you help others. This is how we live. True. And so once I was on KHEA City Council, one of my friends and I thought I don't want it to be a pageant where they just win and they don't go anywhere. I want it to be connected to something where if we do it, I'm doing it right, and it's going to be connected to either the USA system or the America system. And I made contacts with friends in both those systems. They referred me to somebody, which was one of my old business partners. Ended up going with the USA system. Miss KHEA USA was born. It's literally been around for 9 years now. And hugely successful, which y'all know. It's been very exciting.
Oh, it's major.
But that kind of started the pageant side.
Were you
of
in pageants?
I was never in pageants until I was 39 years old.
Oh Oh my gosh.
and I was in the Mrs. Texas pageant.
Oh, how fun.
I know, it's hilarious. So I never was a pageant girl, never wanted to do that, never had any, but I had lots of friends in them, but I just was not like that.
But you were a cheerleader.
I was a cheerleader. Yeah.
So you were used to that, like getting out there, smiles.
Yeah, that wasn't hard for me. I loved it, but wearing a swimsuit and
Yeah. So
and
you did that?
getting all that ready.
Did you have to do that in your
Oh yeah.
pageant?
Oh yeah.
my gosh.
So I was 39 competing against 21-year-olds
And how'd you
in
do?
a swimsuit. I got second runner-up my very first pageant.
Wow.
Won Miss Congeniality, top 5 for interview.
Nice.
So I rocked it.
So then
People's
were
choice.
Did you do that? Were you in the pageants? Were you doing the pageant when you were in that pageant?
No.
Okay. So you were in a pageant and then you started the.
Yeah, so I actually got to see behind the scenes what it was like to be a contestant, raise your money for sponsorships, work hard,
So you did
work
both
out
sides.
every year. Absolutely. And so when I talk to these young ladies, I'm going, I've been there. I know what you're going through.
Right.
And so I'm not just telling you to do something. I'm telling you to work hard and do things because I've been there and I know. So I know how it's going to help you become more well-rounded and be more secure and confident and stuff like that. And so that's kind of where that came from. And then
And I think too, what's really nice about what I've noticed with the Miss KHEA pageant is you get them girls really involved in the community. And it's not the beauty pageant is not even really but one little segment of it. I think that's super important. I know whenever we've done, we did our Christmas little markets and stuff, they came out there. So that's really cool. I love that you've, intertwined that with it. I think that's probably why you've been as successful as you have because, it's a huge honor. They really do represent the city.
yeah, no, and you make a really great point. Starting a pageant system, to me, I've always been community oriented. And so it wasn't just to crown somebody. This was to get somebody involved in our community and help promote the businesses in our city and the wonderful things about the city of KHEA. And so that's where it came from. It's very focused on community service. And if these girls have never been involved with community service, they're going to be pros by the time they finish their year.
So what made you bring on League City and how is that going to work with, because KHEA and League City are so
That's
close
a very
together.
good question,
So
Carrie.
how does that work?
That's what everybody's asking right now. And the thing is that they're going to be two totally different pageants, the great thing. But the thing is that with COVID and hitting the city of KHEA very hard, we're not sure about the funding for it right now. And so League City has been interested in different people in League City for the past 6 or 7 years. People contacted me years ago to start a Miss League City pageant, and I wasn't in the position where I could do that right now.
How much money does it take? You say the funding for it. How much money does it take? It seems like it would take a lot.
It does take a lot, and I'm so glad you asked that, Gardy, because the Miss KHEA pageant costs, just the cost, is about $28,000 to $30,000 every year, which means I have to get sponsors. I raise the money and stuff like that to put it on, and then of course once the pageant happens, I have expenses throughout the entire year.
Exactly.
To pay for the girls to do things and photos and appear. All kind of things that the director has to pay for and cover. So it's a lot.
Would it be more for League City because it's a bigger city as well?
It will probably cost more for League City because, first of all, anytime you have a brand new pageant, you've got advertising costs. Things you have to do it in a bigger way because there's not a reputation yet.
Right.
You don't have all of that.
You got to get the extra
people out. You have to kind of start everything over. But I have the knowledge and experience to going into this pageant.
So do the girls have to be? Do they have to live in League City or do they have to live in KHEA? Because I think your pageant, from what I've heard and seen, is pretty well known. I think haven't you had some winners come out of KHEA too?
Yeah, we've actually had a Miss Texas USA as our Miss KHEA, and our Miss KHEA Teen. One of them in 2015 was Miss Teen USA.
Oh wow!
So it's a really big deal. You do not in the way, and this is a good question because so many people ask that. The way that most pageants are structured, we have regions because, say, the Miss KHEA pageant is a great example because it's a small city. We have about 4,000 people, but not all of those people are 14 to 26 years old.
Right.
So if you only had that limitation of you have to live in your city, then I wouldn't be able to afford a pageant. Nobody would sponsor it because I would have 4 contestants.
Right.
Probably. You can't have a pageant like that. So what the USA system does, they give you regions. And so it helps these smaller areas, absolutely, which is wonderful. And you have to live a certain distance away. You can't live 3 hours away, and compete for Miss KHEA or Miss League City.
Right?
Oh, yeah, it's in counties. It's counties.
Okay.
So it makes it really, really nice.
So do you think you'll be
there's
competing?
like 5 counties.
Do you think with doing the League City one, there's gonna be competition between which pageant or?
No, not really. The great thing about it is that they'll be spaced apart. The pageants will be spaced apart.
Different times, you mean?
Different times, of the year. And the great thing about it is that whether you live in one area or the other, they're both in the same areas pretty much. So, say one time frame may not work for you, but now there's another pageant that, although you could not enter in that one, you're able to enter in this one, and it's another local one for you.
Could you
which
do both?
Which is a blessing.
Hypothetically?
You can do both, yes, which is really nice. A lot of girls don't like to do just one. They want to try to do 2, at least 2. And so this is a huge blessing that it's in their local area.
So they can do both. That's really cool. So this is just one facet of your career, though, because you're kind of a jack of all trades. I mean, I've had you sing. What else do you do?
Oh my goodness.
How did you start the Kelly Williams Show? When did all that start?
That's a fun thing. I literally years ago, a friend of mine was hosting on an new FM station, and they called me one day. He and the guy that had started the show, they said, we want you to come and be on the show with us. And just come on the show because you're fun. And so I went on and I was a guest, and we just had the best time. And so they said, okay, will you come every week now? So I was on the show every Thursday. I started being oh,
wow. So
when that station shut down because of funding, which tends to happen sometimes a lot in smaller stations, Cardi's shaking his head. Yes, everybody knows how expensive it is. It
can get expensive, but we're here. We're not going nowhere.
No, that's right. This is not the one going out. This one's growing and growing. Then 2 other people partnered and said, we want you we want to offer you your own show.
Oh, cool.
That you'll have every week. And so I thought, okay, I know what I want to do. I'd love it. I want the opportunity because my brother is still in radio. He's like the evening show host at KSBJ. So, and he's been in radio for like 35 years. Houston, Louisiana, everything. So that I've always had kind of a background of knowing what radio is about. Love it. I just love it. And so I was very excited. So started my own show. It was doing very well. Things changed. It was on that station for 2 years. Things changed with logistics and things, and I just felt like it was better for me to go on my own, where I could go on live remotes and go see people at their locations and really help businesses more. Right. I felt like I was doing what I was being called to do, and love it. So that's how the Kelly Williams Show started, just kind of out of the blue. Really.
Was it around the same time as your pageants? Kind of like, have you noticed they kind of come together and, or was it like totally separate times in your life?
Oh, no, totally separate times in my life. I started the KHEA pageant 10 years ago. The Kelly Williams Show started 4 years ago.
Oh, so it's been more recent.
Yeah.
And then you sing as well.
I do. I've been
beautiful
singing.
Voice.
Thank you. I've been singing since I was about 6 or 7 years old. My whole family is extremely blessed with talent, and we sing together, perform together all the time. But I've been very blessed to sing professionally again for the past 4 or 5 years, which I'm love because it's a huge part of who I'm. Gardy knows you're a musician. It's just part of you, Yeah. So when you're able to do that, it's a huge blessing.
So between all three, what would you say has been your favorite thing to do?
Oh, Carrie.
I mean, if you can't, if you, if you
and
don't
you know
have a
what?
favorite.
No, and I singing, of course, singing. You know, I sometimes think if I had to do without everything but one thing, because sometimes you think when you're tired, okay, wait, what can I stop? You know, but I think I love everything, and I like helping people, but singing and performing is so who I'm made of. It's almost like I can't imagine not having that opportunity, and that's only up to God how long I'll be able to do that. But that's a huge. I love that because I do like making people happy through music.
Absolutely.
And entertaining and meeting people and reaching out that way. And so I feel like it's kind of the same aspect as the Kelly Williams show and the pageants where you're kind of touching and reaching and helping and
yeah, you're
doing.
Definitely a hugger and a smiler.
Yeah,
And yeah, you got just this energy about you. So, I mean, that kind of brings me to the point where, I wanted to do this Women in Business segment because I don't know if I've ever told you this, but Kelly, you were a huge inspiration to me.
Oh.
As when I started my business, and just the amount of connections and just the fact that you would wear my stuff. Like, look at you got on today.
Got a rep.
And so, that was been huge for me. So has there been anybody along the way that has done that for you? Like that's either you've wanted to be like, has given you inspiration? I mean, I know even when you were coming around during COVID, it was some really tough times for 99% of the people that you were interviewing.
Absolutely.
And so just having that little shot of light it can just revamp somebody, just bring your whole energy back, because it takes a lot of energy to own a business and to keep it going and, to struggle with the daily of, everything on your shoulders. So has there been anybody along the way that's done that for you that you can, I mean, I'm kind of hitting you on the spot.
No, but. And I have been extremely blessed with some really amazing people in my life. And, I mean, it's anybody that's given me an opportunity. I mean, Gardy's one of them, Gardy and Curtin. I mean, just people that, you given my sponsoring the pageant, being a big part of that. There's all kind of people. But if I have to pick, it would be my parents. Yep. You talk about people who believe in you no matter what.
Exactly.
Wear whatever you need them to wear, be wherever you need them to be, promote what you need to do. They're your biggest cheerleaders no matter what you're doing my entire life. And I've been extremely blessed that way. In fact, my whole family, I mean, they will, at a drop of a hat,
be there,
come in from hours away to watch me perform, do a show, do whatever I need. That is literally, and that's how I grew up. Like my dad, they're there, and that's how I've learned that you're supposed to live. And so I think that is really my
your family
biggest
structure.
Yeah, my biggest role models for that.
I know as well as I'm sure whenever you first started out, even having social media, when you first get a Facebook account for your business and, you get no likes on there, you're just starting out and it can be really, kind of, it's scary. It's frustrating. It's like, what do you got to do? And you just keep working and work on it. So what's one piece of advice that you would give any woman that's just they've only been going a little bit? What would you say? What would be your biggest piece of advice?
Yeah, that's a good question because we've all been there. It's like you'll get a couple of views or likes and then you lose some and you're going, what did I do to lose likes? I'm confused. And so then you find yourself focusing on what you did wrong for a couple of people instead of what you're doing right for the majority of the people.
Exactly.
The thing is that put your priorities right. That's one of my biggest pieces of advice for anybody who does a lot of things, or if you do just one thing, or if you're even just a stay-home mom and raising children right now. But if you're like us and you own your own businesses and you're doing that, don't get distracted by the naysayers. You know what you want to do. Have your goals set, and surround yourself with people that support you and love you, no matter if your business is doing great or your business is doing bad.
Very good. I totally agree with that. And you brought up a good point about raising kids. I know, and I'm sure you have felt. I think all of us women in business have felt this. It's kind of our genetics to be the nurturer, take care of our babies. And how do you balance that? I know yours are grown
I
now.
don't. No, you know.
When they were younger, how did you, how do you balance that?
Well, I was in the hospital for about 5 weeks with a white jacket on, but it was really cute. No,
funny.
you kind of feel like that, and the thing is that the answer is I don't. It's almost kind of, it's a funny half truth, where I had my husband actually tell me one time, okay, listen, you're on the computer doing your work all the time, and we can't do that. We cannot live like this. You have to have a break. You have to have a schedule. You have to know when you're going to work and let people know these are my work hours, and don't call me after this time because you can't just, great example. He said, if I want to go see the doctor, they don't take my call at 3 a.m. or 8 p.m. or what. This is, if you want to call, you're going to go in the next day.
You got to train.
You
people.
have to go. And so I had to really take a hard look and go, yeah, you know what? Because I feel like I'm losing it sometimes, but you prioritize. Remember that your, family should come first for things. And when you do that and you let people know, hey, listen, my family comes first. And I need to do this, and I'm not available for this. Of course, we all know that does not work all the time.
Exactly.
Okay, you have things you have to do.
It's a great thought process, but
yes. But I'm going to tell you, if you write down what are your priorities, what you have to get done, and how you're going to do those, it is a huge help. And my husband really helped me with that a lot because, so I'll have people go, okay, I'm sorry. I saw you here, there, you're doing that, you're doing this. And then I how are you doing all this? And I go, yeah, until you said that, I really didn't realize I was doing all that. Now I'm tired. So thank you for telling me. No, but, so you do what you love, you work hard. And if you stop loving something, it's okay to stop doing it.
That passion.
That
passion will take you 100 years, 100 miles.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have that passion, or it's not, I don't know about you, but for me, when I go to work, it's not work for me. I mean, of course, there's days when I'm like, do I really? But that's very rare. It is what I love to do. Like I have to catch myself. Having that separation because I love it so much. That's where I want to be too. I just have goals. So that's a great point though. You do have to have some sort of balance.
Absolutely.
I think is a big key to it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not very good at it, so I'm definitely not one to be the one to go on a tangent about it. But
no, and I don't know if I've ever met anyone that's perfect at it. And they'll tell you, you've got to schedule a date night. Make sure your priorities are in your schedule.
Yep.
Because if it's not, then your life is slowly or quickly going to become something you're really questioning.
Right.
Like what really makes me happy. And I've done that before. Really, what am I happy doing all of these things? What am I doing? If I'm not, how do I rearrange and maybe figure out? And don't be scared to delegate.
Yes,
I used to be very bad at that, and I still need help on it. So if you're out there and need some things delegated to you, call me. But that's important.
With that,
let people help you.
Exactly, and I totally get that because even when I had the move, I was like, no, I can do it all myself. And thank God for two friends that showed up, and they just were like, hey, we didn't take no for an answer. We're here to help you. And it's huge.
Thank you.
I know for those people, like, they're just amazing, right? Like it's so with that being said, so now that you're starting League City, what's your next, what's your future goal? I think people that are goal oriented, you kind of have a plan in your head. Are you wanting to keep doing more pageants? What's your plans?
Yeah, I don't know actually. But I do know, about how long I will have pageants, I don't know. But I do know, and I can't really talk about it on the air today, but I do have something kind of exciting that I'm working on. And it'll be kind of a way to help young ladies in the pageant stuff without actually maybe directing the pageants. I don't know. but it's
Thanks
exciting,
for
and
that.
I
Now
will
it's like,
come-
okay, really,
now,
we got to. My brain will be going 100 miles an hour. What is she doing? What is
now
she doing?
it'll as soon as I get things finalized in this next year or in this year, hopefully, I will come back and talk to y'all about it because it'll be it's exciting, and I'm really excited. So
So you do
but,
have some future plans. So some really cool stuff in the works.
I do.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what God has planned.
It's always hard not talking about that stuff prematurely.
Oh,
'Cause you
God!
get excited
yes,
about it.
I
Of
know.
course.
I'm
It's like
going,
you want to
how
tell
much can
so
I
bad,
say? But I can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
At least on a public platform.
Right?
I feel
right,
like-
right.
yeah,
Off air.
yeah.
then I understand.
She's telling us after this is over with. No, I'm just kidding. So I want to get it out there too. Hopefully we're going to do this for a few months. I know I've got my next guest that's going to be on next month. But if there's any women out there, I'd love to hear your story. So definitely you can reach out. I don't know reach out. They can call. They can text me, call me, and I can put the phone number in the down below. So I want to know what's been your biggest accomplishment to you? I mean, we've got all these different factors in it, but like, is there something that sticks out in your mind that's been just a wow moment for you that you've accomplished with your career?
Oh my goodness. With my career, yeah. Oh, there's several things that I could really, but I think, getting voted best female vocalist in the Bay Area for 2 years in a row.
That's super cool.
That was a huge, and I told the magazine, I said, the funny part is it's not a Grammy, but it felt like something like that to me because I thought, oh my gosh, people.
That means I'm good.
People like me. I mean, I thought I just wanted to make people happy and do what I love, and because you don't do it for award. You don't do things for people to go, hey, you don't. That's not why you do things.
Exactly.
And that was a very big deal for me to do that. I was very
Super
appreciative and honored,
Yeah, that's huge.
So that's something recent that I can say that I really loved and was really very proud of that I had that honor.
How did you separate? You said you were in like the political arena, which I hope it wasn't the way it kind of was. Just a little bit different this last time. We had this conversation last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah, we were talking about it.
So I mean, how did you how did you do that? Because I mean, that's usually something that you don't really go, I guess, in all the directions you're going, and then the political thing. I mean, how did you separate all that?
Well, I actually, and this is funny you asked that because when I knew I wanted to start the Miss KHEA pageant, I knew I needed the city support, so I actually retired from city council to start the Miss KHEA pageant.
Smart move.
Because I thought I can't do both. It's a lot of it would be it's illegal for me to try to be on council and ask for help. So I retired and then came back as owner of the pageant and said I want the city to really look at supporting something like this for the city.
And,
so that's what I did.
And we all know that being the politics side of it is not paid, so it shows.
No,
it shows your level of commitment to volunteering, your time, your energy, your brains. But that's really cool. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Is there ever a point where you'd get back into the political arena?
Great question.
Probably not. I've been asked over the years, I mean, it's been a little while, but I used to be asked to run for mayor of the city, and I said, it's a non-paid, which I'm okay with that. But the thing is that years ago when people would ask me that, I wanted to be a mom. I want to. My children are older, but I being a mom is still very important to me. And if I would be having to do so much work every day on a daily basis, and then the responsibilities that come with being a mayor of a city, they don't care about that starts coming kind of second almost. And I think you have to be in the place in your life where you're either you're ready to to put that as your first commitment. I'm not. I don't. That's not how I think. And so, you know, I like being able just to leave and do things with my daughter or son, and you know, I mean, that's not. And I like my life now, out of politics.
Yeah.
So, and I do appreciate. I will always appreciate people politically because, you know, and we got in it years ago because my husband ran for United States Congress, and so that's where we. That's actually how I kind of got into it, because I was appointed to the new mayor of KHEA's council seat, and so. And then I just kept getting elected, but yeah,
That's always a bad thing,
yeah.
right? I mean,
it was fun and very hard all at the same time, and I was grateful for that opportunity, you know, to serve my community.
so did your husband get out of it and you got in it, or did y'all both?
No,
agree
well,
both?
he didn't win his election, and he stayed in. He was voted to local politics a little bit, but decided he really needed to focus on his business, because it's a lot. I mean, that's what people, you know, that's what I will always appreciate. It is a whole life of work outside of what you do normally. And
For sure.
you have to have a way to make a living, because politics don't pay a lot unless you're people that are corrupt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean, just being honest.
it's-
So, yeah. So, but that's how it is, and we were just always real involved with our community.
Always,
Right.
yeah. When you say that, it doesn't pay a lot unless you're corrupt. But there's a lot of people that really want that seat, and it's like they must really love the community wherever they're running. Like a lot, they want that seat real bad, and they're willing to
Yes.
do whatever
and,
it takes.
And it is, and there are people that just want to serve their community and really want to work, you know, or have that prestige of being an elected office or something. But I think either way, you know, you do have to serve your community, so it's good, you know.
Yep.
Whatever gets people to run.
I know this is women in business, but does your husband have any plan of bringing back his radio and podcast show that he did? Because it was always entertaining.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah, and you know, Facebook has blocked them.
Oh my gosh, for real?
Uh-huh.
Well, there you go.
And they
Find a different
I missed
platform.
it.
No, literally.
missed
I mean,
it.
they're actually we're trying to figure out a different platform. They've had so many people contact them about
Was it
starting
two guys
the
that did it,
show.
right? Like a okay.
And they had guys that two brothers, and they were real popular. Facebook blocked their show and totally stopped it, just like they did Paul's. But they had reached out to
Why?
Paul and
Wow.
said, "We are enjoying your show, and look, just watch for this, watch for that." Yeah,
What I would recommend
It's
is
awful.
is video to YouTube, as long as they'll allow it, and then just take that audio to Anchor and then build that audience through
Yeah.
the if you know people want it, they'll find
that's
it.
a good idea.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, people ask every week when it's coming back.
Yeah.
Every
How
week.
long? When did he do it? 'Cause I think I saw maybe briefly.
I'm sure you did.
Briefly.
I really
It was funny.
it was started a couple years ago, I think, right? Yeah.
Yes. They were they had a reach of 800,000 people.
Well, because
crazy.
podcasting would be something, you know, because I listen to podcasts every time I get in my car. So,
Yeah.
would that be different than just a Facebook thing, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah. Or do they like to be on live where people
Yeah, I
can see
mean,
them?
they would do funny things on the air, and that's what made it so funny. But they would have guests call in from all over the country and everything. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
was.
fun.
It was. I'm so-
Nobody
you
can
said
take a
that 'cause
joke, I guess.
It was great.
Well, that's
It was.
bad.
There's got to be other ways for them to pull it back on.
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, there's
Yeah.
got to be. I mean, if it's whether he wants to do it or not,
Yeah.
Now he has to. Thank you.
right?
Thank you, sir.
Just got a big plug there.
It was hilarious. I know it. That was a good question.
It's funny.
Yeah, so we're talking to Kelly Williams, talking to Carrie Crump, Lex Mae, and the Kelly Williams Show, and the Miss KHEA pageant, Miss League City pageant coming soon. It's really big news.
Are you doing the KHEA or is it a 2-year thing that's with COVID or whatever? Because you don't. I know.
Yeah, the Miss USA pageant moved, and so this year the Miss KHEA pageant I had to move it to next year, and so the Miss League City pageant is now going to be the first year is going to be next year in 2022.
So you'll have both of them, and
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, I guess my last question I have for you: how does it you're the one that's always interviewing.
Yes.
How does it feel to be in that seat?
I always get nervous here in this seat. Like, am I going to remember everything? Because I'm used to, coming up with everything and listening and going, okay, wait, what can I ask? So I've been sitting here thinking of questions I could ask you the whole time you're asking me something. But
let's run it back after this.
Yeah.
After this question,
I did my turn.
and then we'll get the Kelly Williams show, real quick version of it. Yeah.
But it's fun. It's always nice to be asked to be interviewed. I mean,
I feel like, you did it for free. I mean, you didn't charge anybody anything, and you did it all when we needed somebody the most. And I mean, it was just like huge. So, I mean, that's the least we can do is we want to know about you.
No, well, thank you so
and you're
much.
so sweet and so
Thank
smiling all the
you.
time. And I know, like I said, you're definitely one of my idols. In the next month, we
Aw.
have another one of my idols, Debbie Drury with Marketing Doctors.
Aw, Debbie.
So, yes. So there's definitely, anytime you're a business owner, whether you're female or male, there's people that, motivate you and help you along the way. And it's just so important to give back and say thank you. So
Absolutely.
thank you for all you did for me.
Thank you for everything
for
you've
wearing my
done
clothing.
for us and being my friend. I just
course,
love you a
of
bunch.
course.
And I love my absolute fabulous top from Lex Mae. this is what you get there.
It's so
Darling
cool when you
stuff.
see people wearing your stuff. I just can't.
Darling stuff.
And
I
she
love it.
I mean, look at her. She's absolutely gorgeous. So,
Oh,
she
Carrie,
could wear anything.
you're so sweet to me.
So you just moved to Tanger. How has that transition been
Oh,
going?
it's going phenomenal. Like
Gardy, have you been there yet?
No, I haven't been there yet. I haven't.
It's fabulous.
I
record?
need to go.
We are having a record month. We got one more day. Today's the 30th,
It's-
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to make sure I was right in the right month, right day. Yeah, it's record month. Could not be more pleased. Loving it. Greatest staff in the world. I got my cast off yesterday.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Life is good. Life is really good.
Yeah, the store's gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I walked in there and I was just going, look at my friend. I'm so proud and happy. It's awesome.
It's been fun, for sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Just if you are a woman in business and you would like to reach out to me, again, we'll put the number in the comments below. We'd love to have you on here. And we just want to see women, be successful and help each other out.
And Kelly, is there anything else you'd like to share? Any questions you'd like to ask Carrie?
No.
Carrie, how has it felt being sitting here with Gardy and asking
So
questions
much
and having
easier.
this little show?
So much easier.
It is fun. It's fun. Gardy's awesome.
Yes, he is.
Well, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys coming in today.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
It's KHEA Radio 99.5.